Hamzat is next.
To beat him.
How so?
I can beat Hamzat.
But I was so ready for everything he had.
As the biggest trash talker in the UFC world, it is quite expected of Dricus Du Plessis to call out his opponent right before the match and to get on their nerves. Callouts, warnings, pulling each other's legs, these are what normal contenders do before a fight. But Dricus, he takes that a bit further. Only those who have the ability to become big dream big. Dricus called out Khamzat in front of the world, saying that he needs to make sure the world knows that he is the GOAT, and that in the middleweight title, there is no greater fighter than Dricus Du Plessis.
Hamzat's first.
Hamzat's first?
Hamzat's first. I want to be the greatest to ever do this. But Hamzat's next. Hamzat is next. I want to make sure that this belt, the middleweight title, that there's no question that I'm the GOAT.
Moreover, in an interview, Dricus claimed that he was hoping Khamzat would be able to take him down, but the real question is whether he would be able to keep DDP on the ground.
Is Hamzat going to be able to take me down? Absolutely. Absolutely, he'll be able to take me down. This is how a fight works. I would hope so. Isn't he like some Swedish champion or something? I would hope he could take me down. But then he has to deal with me on the ground, and he has to keep me there.
Adding to that, Dricus emphasized the fact that he would be able to not only take Khamzat down, but keep him there. He also highlighted Khamzat's previous fight experiences, talking about how it is obvious through Khamzat's fight strategies that he gets extremely exhausted by the third round, while dominating the first one.
Can I take Hamzat down? Absolutely. Am I going to take Hamzat down? Absolutely. And that then we're entering an area that he doesn't know. He got taken down by Gilbert Burns. He got taken down by Usman. We've seen him being as dominant as anybody can be in the first round. We've seen him being as exhausted as anybody can be in the third round. This is a 5-rounder.
Furthermore, Dricus sent a message to Khamzat telling him to bring his entire power in the first round like he always does. He went on to say that if Khamzat wants to wrestle in the first round, they can wrestle, and in the second round, they would see how everything proceeds. After that, they will fight his fight and go by his terms.
Bring your first round. I am going to meet you in the middle, and we are going to wrestle. We can wrestle that first round, the whole first round. And then we come out in that second round and we'll see what we feel like. And we can wrestle you have around a minute left in that second round, and then we're going to fight my fight. Then we're going to wrestle on my terms, and then we're going to strike on my terms. That's what I think. I think everybody has been moving backwards, trying to evade that takedown. No.
On the other hand, while DDP is calling out Khamzat out in the open, others like Sean O'Malley can't help but root for Dricus for the upcoming fight. According to Sean, DDP is a powerhouse. He praised how DDP overpowered Israel Adesanya, even though Adesanya dominated most of the fight. It goes to show how unpredictable this fighter can be.
DDP versus Hamzat. What is that, like 2-3 weeks? Like,
yep.
Holy. I just actually watched DDP versus Israel this morning before practice. And dude, Izzy was looking so good in that fight. Like, I remember watching it and thinking, like, I only had rewatched it just this one time, but watching it live, I remember thinking like Izzy looked good, and I kind of, for the most part, dominating the fight. And then that fourth round just kind of got hit up top on the head and just, you know, went downhill real fast from there. But God, Izzy was looking good in that fight. So I'd like to see Izzy come back. Izzy versus Sean too would be sweet. But yeah, Hamzat versus DDP is very exciting for me right now.
Speaking of Adesanya, even he could not help but side with Dricus Du Plessis. According to him, DDP is extremely stubborn, but what he does is best for him and works just fine. He even went on to say that he has the most respect for Dricus and that the fighter is the best for now. Israel even expressed his willingness to fight Dricus again.
I think Hamzat with DDP would be next.
How do you see that fight? DDP, like the last skip by now at 185 pounds, it's different, man. When he beat Robert Whittaker, I'm never going to count this dude out again. He does the craziest shit.
He's just stubborn. It's even funny to watch. I give him all the respect. He's so good at what he does. I've said, what did I say before? Like, he's the best fighter in the world. Can't wait till I fight again just because there's some things I want to try.
Similarly, Khamzat has shown the world that if Dricus Du Plessis can claim to be the best and earn the title of best roaster, why should he stand back? Highlighting the upcoming UFC 319 fight, Khamzat too sent his opponent a warning through a video saying that it's his time now and to not run away before the fight.
Now it's my time. Yeah, don't run too much. Let's wait, man.
Yet most experts, despite witnessing Khamzat's strengths, can't help but talk in awe about Dricus Du Plessis and his skills. Some might even say that he is a monster and a nightmare for Chimaev. That is exactly how Gilbert Burns described DDP, claiming that Dricus is a world-class fighter, and the fight would probably end with Dricus beating Khamzat in the cage.
I train with Dricus a lot. Dricus is actually a very, very good fighter. Crazy cardio, very physically strong. He's a very hard fight to predict. You know, I think Chimaev is going to start very strong like he always do. I do believe Dricus can kind of slow him down, don't get submitted, relax a little bit. But I do believe Dricus, if he get past that first round, I think that's the hardest part. What I think he will do, I think he's gonna pass, and then he's gonna be a nightmare for Chimaev. I think Dricus is a monster, hits very hard, doesn't break, good gas tank. I do believe Dricus is gonna beat Chimaev and remain the champion.
Additionally, Dricus even mentioned one time that he is not scared of Khamzat or his wrestling skills. He won't be evading or staying off the ground while going against Khamzat, a mistake he claims every one of Khamzat's opponents makes. He went on to say that he would fight however the flow of the fight takes them, but in the end, he'll win.
I'm not scared of Hamzat wrestling. I'm not evading. I'm not trying to stay off the ground with Hamzat. That's the mistake everybody makes. I'm going to fight Hamzat wherever the fight goes. The same as this fight, the same as any other fight. You know, this is MMA. As soon as you go in your mind and think, I don't want to fight this guy stand up. I don't want to go to the ground with this guy. I mean, look at Izzy. That fight, the obvious way to fight Izzy is, and I knew I could take him down. I'm strong enough and I knew I had it. And I did take him down. I ultimately finished the fight there, but 90% of that fight was fought stand-up.
In contrast, while Dricus earns praises and calls out Chimaev, the latter is busy in one of the most intense training camps, getting himself prepped for the fight. Brendan Schaub, having visited Khamzat's camp and witnessed him training, said that the best way to describe it would be intense.
You know, I come to Jackson, you know, to do the media stuff like that, and Hamzat has his camp here, and, you know, Armin's here. If I had to describe it in one single word, it'd be intense. It's just their focus. I think maybe this is how they've always done camp.
Adding to that, Brendan commented on how, during his camp days, however heavy the training was, the atmosphere was always kept light, but that was not the case for this camp. He even stated that the people sparring against Khamzat could best be described as killers, who were equipped with skills like wrestling, grappling, and everything you could name. In the end, he understood why Khamzat was considered one of the best.
For my camp, it was serious, especially when you're like 2-3 weeks out. It was serious, but you still wanted a playful kind of vibe, energy where it's not so serious. They don't have that. Like, it's so intense, it's so serious. And he brings in these absolute killers that specialize in wrestling and jiu-jitsu and grappling, and, you know, he just has these monsters. You can see why he's one of the best in the world. It's just really intense. That's the best way to put it. It's scary.
Moreover, Rampage Jackson, who has been covering Khamzat's camp, saw the fighter's drive and the energy he brought to his passion. After observing Khamzat for a while, he told the world that Khamzat wants only one thing: to be the greatest fighter in the world. The motivation he needs, he gets from the people who believe in him and support him in his journey.
Their team, and just get a deeper dive into what motivates them. And Hamzat's motivated by being the best in the world. That's it. He wants to bring the belt back home. He wants to show everybody who believed in him, his family, his friends, his team, his coaches, everything they thought is real. Hamzat's a real dog. That dude wants to go out there and kill.
Additionally, even Khamzat's training videos would send a chill down your spine, considering the sheer intensity of their nature. The fighter has been seen working on his cardio, strength training, grappling, and everything you could name. That explains why whenever anyone visits Khamzat while he's working, they are shocked to see the view.
There you go. Come on. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's see it. 10 seconds left. Come on, here. Come on. Let's go. Push. 5 seconds. Push. Yes. There you go.
Furthermore, after beating Robert Whittaker, Khamzat was asked how his and Dricus' fight would proceed. Khamzat, in a light manner, commented that Dricus had faced defeat at the hands of Robert, and everyone saw what Khamzat did to Whittaker.
To get your thoughts on Dricus as a champion, his run so far, and what do you make of his grappling?
What do you think, guys? How I done with this guy, Rob? How he done? Rob took him down. So if Rob took him down, so there is salam alaikum.
In another instance, before their fight was booked, Khamzat claimed that Dricus is just a bad version of him, saying that he is at his peak right now. He went on to state that the fighter is a physical wrestler and that Khamzat has all the skills to take him down.
Это он сейчас его пик идет вперед, газует. Ну, можно сказать, плохая версия меня. Сейчас вернусь, сниму его. Для меня он намного удобнее, чем другие бойцы. Если взять все на Стрикленда, он хорошо встает. А этот сам что-то такой борец, ну, по физике борется. У нас техника, его борьбу, контрборьбу ему сделать, повалить его, удержать его. И он сам знает это, поэтому про меня молчит.
In contrast, Dricus claimed that while Khamzat is an incredible fighter, he has never gone against somebody of note other than Robert Whittaker. He went on to say that while Khamzat has good grappling skills, this won't be a grappling competition. In fact, it needs a mix of all skills, which Dricus does have. He even jabbed at Khamzat about how the fighter couldn't secure himself a welterweight title, and now he wants to come to middleweight.
Hamzat is an incredible fighter. Nobody has been able to beat him, but he hasn't fought anybody of note other than Robert Whittaker. That is it. This is not a grappling competition. I am not the best grappler or wrestler or striker. When we mix it all up, I am. That's why I have this. He couldn't even get a title at welterweight. Now he wants to come to middleweight. Great, let's go.
In another instance, Dricus accepted the fact that Khamzat is extremely good at his craft, especially wrestling and grappling, but that does not take away from DDP's own set of skills. He said that you don't want to stand in front of Khamzat and wish you weren't there. Rather, the best strategy is to attack head on.
It's easier said than done. The man is incredibly good, especially in those wrestling grappling exchanges. But you can't go out there fighting him and thinking, I don't want to be there.
If Khamzat has an explosive training routine, Dricus is no less of a hustler. Even through his training videos, it is quite obvious that Dricus Du Plessis has a messy style, but monstrous strength and energy. In fact, Dricus has been through such intense training that it shocks even the most experienced of fighters. One of his coaches used to use a taser for training purposes. In case you mess up anything or need to improve further, you would get tased. People find that only amusing but frightening as well, understanding now why Dricus is so rock solid. In the end, both fighters have called out each other right in the open for everybody to spectate, giving the audience not just the day of the fight to look forward to, but also to enjoy the back and forth in the meantime, as everyone begs the question, who will win the fight? Let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are about this fight. Is Dricus really that great, or is he just boosting his own ego? Will Khamzat really win the fight in the first few rounds? A lot of questions remain unanswered till the day of the fight. Till then, don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep the bell notifications on so you don't miss any of our content. See you next time.